And Polycarp would be the first bishop of the church, or one of the first bishops in the church of Smyrna. It would be a young man by the name of Polycarp, 9 years old. He gives his life to Christ. And he had a dramatic execution. His execution is written about because it was so dramatic on February the 23rd of 156 AD, and with him being, following the Lord he's about 95 years old. They come to arrest him. The Romans come to arrest him, telling him to just denounce Jesus Christ. We'll let you, just denounce him. And he says, no. In fact, when they came to his house, he had lunch for him, and he said, I'm going to pray for an hour. Then they took him, put him on a donkey, takes him into this arena. And he says, just denounce the Lord. And he says, and he has this famous quote, for 86 years I have been his servant, and he, meaning Jesus Christ, has done me no wrong. He's done me no wrong. How can I blaspheme my king who saved me? He says, how can I blaspheme my king who saved me? And then they took him to that arena, this 95 years old man, this frail old man, his body, but great and mighty in spirit he was. They took him, and he loved Jesus. He loved the Lord Jesus. Gets him up from his bed. They take him. And after he finished praying, they put him on this donkey, and he entered into this arena with his guard. And a voice from heaven was heard, said, be strong, Polycarp, and play the man. And no one nearby saw anyone speaking, but many heard the voice. Nobody heard him. And he was brought before the court, or that court of that day, the tribunal, and the crowd. But Polycarp refused to deny Jesus Christ under dire circumstances. Look, let me tell you something. That day will come in America where everybody who claims to be a Christian, you claim to be a Christian, you claim to say, I know Jesus Christ, I love Jesus Christ, that will be tested even more than we ever thought. Even to the point of the sword, even to the point of death. That will be tested here in this country. And no political figure could stop that. That will happen in this country. It will happen. And they threatened him. They begged him. They said, no. Reproach Christ and we'll spare your life. Reproach him. We'll spare your life. They threatened him with wild beasts and fire. And Polycarp stirred his ground. And he looked at them and said, hey, what are you waiting for? What you waiting for? What you waiting for? You want to do? What are you waiting for? A 95-year-old man. He said, what are you waiting for? Do whatever pleases you, he says. Do whatever pleases you. And Polycarp, he refused to denounce Jesus Christ. And the crowd chanted, put him to death, put him to death, put him to death, put him to death. And as soon as Polycarp finished praying, the fire was lit. While they was chanting, he was praying. The fire was lit. He's in this huge arena, but it leaped around and the fire went all around him. And they still said, put him to death, put him to death. And they convinced a soldier to take his javelin and just jab it through his torso and so forth. So much blood came out of him, it extinguished the fire. And they just got angry and took and just grabbed him and burned his whole body. Some say that this fragrance filled the arena, a sweet smell. Look, this was the leader of the church in Smyrna. A congregation is, they'll follow the Lord as much as the pastor or the leader is following Jesus Christ. And for pastors, our job is to stay faithful to the Lord, even unto death. Our job is not to cower when circumstances change.